So this is how to beat the Salamangreat. The main thing you want to focus on is the back row. I've been testing them out and trying different things, and I've been able to create some pretty good, strong boards using stuff like Transcode Talker, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, among other cards. Good, strong link boards, so that adds to their abilities, but at the moment you want to focus on what they would inherently do when this Salamangreat structure deck comes out, Soul Burner, next month. So they're going to have Salamangreat Roar and Salamangreat Rage. These will be their main, stun cards, their responses for whatever plays you try to make. They'll try to interrupt you with these. So these are their main interrupts, and they can recycle them. So, and since they're traps, any way you have that can deal with traps will be something you want to use. Salamangreat Roar negates spells, traps, or monster effects, as long as they control a Salamangreat Link monster. And then has a secondary effect that if this is in the graveyard and you link summon a Salamangreat monster with the same name as the material while this card is in the graveyard, you can bring this back onto the field from the graveyard, set it, and if it would leave the field, banish it instead. So just by link summoning using a Salamangreat monster, for example, if you have Sunlight Wolf and then use Sunlight Wolf as a link material to make a Sunlight Wolf, you can set Salamangreat Roar with its own effect, and then with Sunlight Wolf's effect, you can grab back Will of the Salamangreats or Salamangreat Rage, so that we can get 2 cards, right? So from one link summoning combo, you can get back 2 cards. Specifically, Roar and Rage would be 2 cards. Really good to get. And you get Rage's secondary effect, which lets you destroy up to 2 cards, because the link rating of Sunlight Wolf is link 2. You'll be able to destroy up to 2 cards because you use a Sunlight Wolf to summon a Sunlight Wolf. So that's something to keep in mind. You can obviously try to make these cards less impactful, because if all your opponent has on their side of the field is a Sunlight Wolf, for example, and then they have these 2 cards on the field, if you were to kaiju the Sunlight Wolf, with like a Dogoran or something like that, and ironically Dogoran does come in the Japanese structure deck. We don't know if we're definitely getting Dogoran in the structure deck, as well as Ash Blossom supposed to come. Well, for the OCG is going to come common, but we're hoping we get it common too. But if not, so be it. I don't care either way. But it would be nice, why not have it common? A lot of people like that. You'll sell that product, and it's a great deck, and I definitely want that structure deck to make money. I definitely plan to get it. I don't care for the Ash Blossoms. I'll probably trade them off. If they don't come in there, no skin off my back. I do want the Dogoran though. But anyway, like I said, using a kaiju to get rid of your opponent's Sunlight Wolf, so that way you can prevent Salamangreat Rage ability to do the up to 2 card ability, as well as prevent it from even do the send a Salamangreat monster from your side of the field to destroy a card ability. They still can do the whole discard a Salamangreat from their hand to destroy 1 card on the field. But that's them negging to try to make you neg, right? You rather be in a scenario like that and to be in a scenario where they just freely just pop 2 of your cards. Again, in order to play the counter trap Roar, they have to have a Salamangreat Link monster, not just a Salamangreat monster. Personally, I wish it was just a Salamangreat monster, but whatever. They want it to be a link monster. So by kaijuing their Salamangreat link monster, that will make it where this card is useless. But let's say you don't have the kaiju, and then you have to deal with the back row, right? And the fact that they can use war to protect their rage, and the rage can break your, break the board, prevent, interrupt you from, link summoning, seed summoning, whatever. You might want to use something like Tongue Twister to try to pop both of them, but because they can use roar to negate it, so that they can keep the rage, kind of productive. But if you can, if you have like two MSTs, or you can have, or you have two cards that you could potentially use to get rid of both of these, like two MSTs, MST this and then MST that. Since you do get to see what they're setting and adding, because the way the deck works, it recycles it from the graveyard, so they're going to have it, where they set it on the field, so you know where they're at. So there's no surprise where these cards are going to be at. It's just a matter of being able to play around them is the factor. So, stuff like, since the deck does like to send them to the graveyard and then bring them back onto the field by setting it or by adding it back to the hand, you might want to do something like Crow. You might want to use Ghost Bell if you, have these in your main deck or sideboard. These would be good, especially if they go first. Hand traps are very useful against that. Preventing them from sending it to the graveyard, you can use obviously Ash Blocks. That's the last part. Send a card from the deck to the graveyard, you can stop it. Or you can wait until they special summon the monster from the deck, you can stop that. Like, for example, Salamangreat Mirage Stalio has the ability to summon a Salamangreat from the deck to the graveyard, and then do a bunch of link summonings, and then link up, and then they start using effects to grab back their Will of Salamangreats, their Rage, their Roar, so you might want to prevent special summonings from the deck. But mainly you want to prevent any of the spells and traps from going to the graveyard through certain card effects. I personally use Foolish Bird of Goods in my Salamangreat deck, so that's one of the ways that I send the spells and traps to the graveyard, so I can recur them, add them back to the hand, or set them on the field and play them. So Ash Blossom will be relatively good against that. Baylor, to prevent Sunlight Wolf from adding any of the spells and traps from the graveyard to the hand. Prevent Stelio from summoning something from the deck onto the field. Stopping Gazelle from sending something to a graveyard unless they don't chain block. If they chain block you, then if they chain block you, it doesn't matter because you can Baylor anything that's on the chain. Because you're just chaining and targeting a monster on the field for your effect. I think you could. It's the fact that you can chain block Ash Blossom. Right? I don't really use these cards myself. I don't need them. Impermanence, similar to Baylor, negating some the monster effects that either add the spells and traps back or sends them to the graveyard in the first place, so that they can't add them back. You could, of course, just let them send it to the graveyard, and then when they try to add it back, you can stop them from doing so. But of course, at the same time, they'll try to do it again. Add it back to the hand next turn, and the following turn after that following turn. You're trying to slow them down for like at least one turn, and then hopefully you can prevent them from doing anything, maybe OTK them or something before they, recur their stuff. Again, like I said, kaijuing, making it hard for them to have anything on board to utilize their back row or just to break their board. Same thing with like Prankatops. Way of dealing with the back row. Obviously, you can use this as effect of a quick effect. You can use this as a way to bait out Salamangreat Roar, and then and you'll probably target their Sunlight Wolf, for example, which will definitely make their Salamangreat rage relatively useless. But then they'll just use roar to negate the effect of Pancratops, which you want them to. And then, if you have something like an NST or something, you get rid of rage, you get rid of rage. You get the idea. Try to play it out. Same thing with eccentric archery. Same results. You can normal summon and then try to pop, tribute to pop Sunlight Wolf and try to, force the activation of roar and then get rid of rage afterwards, depending on the scenario. If they waste rage on your eccentric archery, so be it, because eccentric archery is not a quick effect. But let's say you put eccentric archery in your pendulum zone and use it to pop the back row. So you can use it, you can target roar to make sure roar is not on the field. Because if you target rage, it wouldn't matter. They'll more likely use roar to stop it. So there's that. But it depends on what happens. Either way, the end result is roar is going to negate it, and rage is going to stay in the field, and you're still going to have to get rid of rage. Thanko Psycho, of course, summon it, boom, that'll shut down the traps. So you don't have to worry about them. And then you can do stuff like Twin Twist and whatnot and get rid of them. Make some Nightmare Phoenix or something. Get a similar result with Photon Cerberus, the Beast type light, 3-star, whatever. You can, if you play Photons, you'll have access to this, or give you a good tech card or side deck card, whatever you want. Jinzo, obviously makes traps relatively useless. Roll the Cree, things of that nature. But you prefer something continuous. Jinzo's a relatively good monster because you can special summon something, and if he doesn't respond to it, tribute for Jinzo, and it's like, oh man, I should have got rid of that monster special summon. Like, yeah. But the fact that most people special summon more than once per turn anyway, if I special summon something and you pop it, what do you freaking do? I special summon something else, tribute, summon Jinzo, and have some type of advantage to prevent the reusability of these, because getting them back and setting them would be pointless for your opponent too. Another thing you can do is you could, like I said, you could play something like the Twin Twister or something, and then if they try to negate it with Roar, you can red reboot them, and then that will shut down Roar, which will also shut down Rage for the whole turn, and any other back row they might have, and then you can just play out the turn. Twin Twister is relatively good. It's better like when you're going first, more so than going second, because if you know they set the Roar and the Rage, and they end their turn, just Twin Twister and get rid of both of them, Or for a better result, you want to permanently banish them instead of just popping them to the graveyard, because they'll just bring them back later. Use Cosmic Cycle. Really good card to use. To banish them permanently by just paying 1,000 life points. Again, anything that going first, you always will have the advantage. So obviously you'll play stuff like summon, summon limit, for example, or rivalry warlords. Those matches is not really that useful unless they start going into like Transport Talker or the Nightmare monsters. Mostly they summon their ciphers, and the whole deck is ciphers. So some of the extra deck monsters are ciphers. So go and their fire. So goes a match and rivalry warlords be relatively pointless. Also, the structure deck even comes with goes a match, so that should know that goes a match doesn't hurt this deck as much. But unless you go into some non-fire monsters, it could slow them down. The way I play them, I do play some non-fire monsters, but stuff like summon limits can slow them down. Skill drain, Sound Strike. Interesting enough, I use Sound Strike in my Salamangreat deck. It's a really good card, and it because it negates summonings, Plus, also has the ability to negate monster effects, and sometimes you need to negate more than one monster effect per turn. Salamangreat Roar and Rage can only be played one per turn, so even if I have multiple copies of Roar, I can only play one. So I use Roar, Rage, and Solemn Strike. That way I have 3 different interrupts in my back row area, so that's how I play it. You know, it'd be awesome. They come out with a Solemn Strike. It doesn't have to negate a monster effect, just negating a summoning would be useful. That is a Salamangreat card, so that way we can, have a, solemn or warning like effect in the deck, so we can recycle the ability to negate summoning. Doubt they'll do it, but if they do, that'd be awesome. I definitely want it. Gazelle, Falco, these are the ways that Gazelle is how they send cards, spells and traps to the graveyard. Falco is one way of getting them back from the graveyard onto the field, specifically the traps. Something like Wolf can add the spells and traps from the graveyard to the hand. That's one of his effects. Has another effect where you can add a Salamangreat monster from the graveyard to your hand. So it's a good way of recycling some of your extra deck monsters, among other monsters. And it doesn't do Salamangreat monsters specifically. Actually, it does a fire monster, which is great because in the deck, the structure deck in the OCD has Dogran, which is fire, Ash Blossom, which is fire. So the ability to recycle them, so you can always kaiju your opponent, you can always Ash Blossom opponents, which is awesome. It's ironic that they have cards in the deck that actually is good in the mirror match against Salamangreat. So that was pretty smart. Because I do expect everybody to play Salamangreat. I know I'm playing it. And yeah, Dogaran, Ash Blossom's pretty good against the deck. So that's why they're mentioned. It's pretty good against the deck. What else? I already mentioned they do have the ability to, spam, the Nightmare Monsters and Code Talkers. Um, Create some pretty good, strong boards. They can OTK. They can, make it hard for your opponent to play Yu-Gi-Oh. That kind of good stuff. So, didn't need to mention all the cards, just those. If when Crystal Needle Fiber is an option, obviously being able to use Crystal Needle Fiber to banish the opponent's turn in order to summon TG1, the Magician can help you pop. This is if you're going first, of course. Pop their Will of the Salamangreats, the Field Spell, or the Rage when they set it, or the Roar if they set it. Especially if they set Roar by its own effect by them link summoning, and then they set this by its own graveyard effect, then perfect. Pop it with TG1 the Magician, and it'll banish itself. So that saves you the trouble of banishing it when when it banishes itself, when it brings itself back. By doing that, Tornado Dragon, same results. You can use it to pop these traps when they set them. You can use that effect against Will of the Salamangreat, so that we can prevent at least the soul charge aspect of this card that lets them get Salamangreat monsters back from the graveyard onto the field. So this is a very strong extender in the deck, so you might want to prevent that. Trish, if you can make Trish on your opponent's turn, great. But more likely this will be a going second play, especially if you manage to get the traps and stuff to the graveyard. Then you can make Trish and use Trish to banish them. Same thing with Rhapsody and Berserk. You can banish up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard by detaching 2 materials from this card. That's a good way of getting rid of both Roar and Rage if they so happen to be in the graveyard, or anything else that might be problematic. They also recycle their monsters, so you want to target the monster as well. So you get the idea. And there's tons of other cards. It's just that most of these cards more likely you already are using, so now you have ideas on how to use them against Salamangreat, or you can start teching them for mirror match purposes, or for just going using them against the Salamangreats, and that's the end of the video.